Hey, ladybugs. So welcome back. Welcome back. Listen, I want to talk to you guys real quick about some housewives. Okay. That's what we're going to chat about. All right. I want to talk about Monyetta Shaw and her having to fire back at Tamar Braxton for some comments that Tamar made on her latest show. Before we get into that, I definitely have to shout out House of Aaron, who did a great interview over there with Monyetta Shaw. And I also have to shout out Make It Make Sense, Mims, who did another great interview over there with Miss Allison as well. So if you guys have not checked that out, please go and check my people out. House of Aaron did a great sit down interview. I'm loving that layout with Monyetta Shaw, and she kind of gave more tea than what I was expecting her to give, honey. All right, and definitely check out or Make It Make Sense Mims with the sit down interview with Allison, Drew's sister, because she definitely gave additional insight as well. Okay, and I might talk more about those, as we get into things. But anywho, first off, I want to talk about Monyetta Shaw, okay, because she did a sit down with Aaron, and in that sit down, she kind of talked about how she was over there mixing and mingling over there with her husband Neo, and allowing other people into the bedroom, honey. Okay, Miss Monyetta Shaw was real open. See, first of all, Monyetta likes to come on screen all extra classy base, is what she likes. But girl, behind closed doors, it's giving Miss Monyetta is a different type of person. Girl, Miss Monyetta is a might be a little free. Okay, you might be a little free over there, Miss Monyetta. Okay, you know how to turn it on and turn it off. Okay, you turn it on when you in the house. You turn it off when you walk out their front door. Hello, I'm not mad at it. Y'all know I really like Monyetta. Okay, I really like Monyetta. But girl, some part of me was like, girl, why you let Neo convince you to do so much of this stuff? How in love with this man were you? Like, why did you let him just convince you to do all kind of stuff? But anyway, girl, let's just get into it, because as she touched on that's the video that's really been like going around and around, with things that Monyetta would do with Neo or whatever the case. And it made its way to Dish Nation. And when Tamar Braxton heard this clip, she began to kind of drag Monyetta, which I did feel. And I like Tamar Braxton too, y'all. I know a lot of y'all can't stand Tamar, but I ain't really got no issue with Tamar. I like Tamar. Okay, I do think that she could have went a bit far. It kind of made me think a little bit of Funky Dineva, not in the same sense, right? When Funky Dineva was started to attack the looks and all of that of Miss Chloe, that's kind of what it gave me a little bit, Tamar, when you were over there just like going in on Monyetta in her position of being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'll be honest, I wanted to question, like, girl, are you jealous or something? But then I'm like, okay, maybe she's not jealous. We can't put that label on everybody. But I mean, did Monyetta do something to you? Like, why are you ain't have to come this hard at her, or would you like to be on the show Real Housewives of Atlanta? A lot of people said that they would love to see her on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Not necessarily me, because I like Tamar. And I don't want to see Tamar be in a position where I have felt about Marlo, to where I can't stand. Like, I don't want to be a person that's like, I can't stand Tamar. If she were to come on the show, maybe bring her on as a friend. But I do believe if she were on the show, her number one go-to person is going to be Miss Candy Birds. Like, she is gonna be on Candy's head, and Candy's probably gonna be right back on her head. All right. And now that I think about it, I don't know. Would that be interesting? I know a lot of people keep wanting Phaedra to come back so that Candy and her can hash out their issues. Girl, that's not gonna happen. Phaedra is over there on Married to Medicine. But Tamar and Candy having issues, and then bringing Tamar on the show, that would be entertaining. However, it makes me feel like she gonna be on some Marlo type stuff where she may try and force things, and I'm not interested. And Marlo and Courtney, right, on some force type stuff. I'm not interested. I'm not. I don't know if I'm interested. Um, we shall see. I know they looking for new people. They trying to change some stuff, rearrange it or whatever. That's what they saying. We don't know what's going on, but I wonder if Tamar is gonna slide her resume over there to see, slide her information details over there, slide into an interview to see if she can at least get a friend of, on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all let me know. Would y'all want to see that though? I've been seeing a lot of people say that, but what do y'all think? Do y'all want to see her? And if so, in what space? Would it be friend of, or would it be housewife? Because if she got on that show and they brought Monyetta back, girl, the friends gonna be going at it. Monyetta and Tamar definitely gonna be going at it, and then Tamar gonna be coming for Candy, and it's gonna be a mess. it would be a mess, but I think it could be an entertaining mess for some people. But again, y'all let me know y'all thoughts. But anywho, what I really want to get into is the interview that Aaron had with Monyetta Shaw and how it went on to go viral. You know, there are clips of his interview that's going viral, and it's made its way to Dish Nation. And this is where Monyetta kind of talks about her whole sexual or sexcapade or whatever with ex fiance, I believe, Neo, the father to her 2 children. And again, Miss Tamar had a lot to say, so let me hush up and let's let Tamar talk.
You wasn't ready.
Okay.
So yeah, we cheated together, if that makes sense. And then it just wasn't enough. And I was like, well, no, I didn't sign up to do this every day.
We cheated, so you cheated.
No, baby. I mean, you know, like we did things together. Became a problem when you want that, you know, a lot.
I'm sorry, Jesse. I know that's your friend, but this is the most we've heard from her all season long. Everybody is dying and crying and scratching for a peach child. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. She's been on Housewives all season. This is like the first 3 minutes that we've heard from her all season long. I'm sorry. I gotta call spade a spade. It's the truth. Where she was.
I love Monyetta.
Me too.
That's why she couldn't.
Where she been?
They didn't let her talk Tamar. That's why she couldn't do that.
Girl.
Had a lot to
when you
say.
answer specific questions that's being asked, maybe it never organically came up on Real Housewives, but she is a trendsetter. She's a multifaceted human being.
I don't think that's nice, Tamar, to say that this lady been on this show the whole time and we ain't hearing that from her. I feel like she got the whole conversation started with the Courtney calling Drew a bitch. And listen, just from mentioning that piece and having that evidence, it has definitely drawn in more drama than what we have been expecting. You know, I do feel like, you know, some stuff, Monyetta, you know, some of your reads you do got to work on. I'm not going to lie. You definitely got to work on some of your reasons, some of your comebacks, and don't be so easily to kind of like apologize just to be over stuff to move on. You know what I'm saying? With other things. So I do think that there is some space for, like, you know, doing better. You know, I think that you restrict yourself a lot because you're on television. And, you know, I think it's okay for you to let loose just a little bit and let these ladies know exactly who Monyetta Shaw is, because the way you dropped that rap the other time. And I was really feeling the rap that you dropped. I said, not Monyetta over here dropping bars, honey. So that was you kind of showing me right out the gate that, like, there's a different side to you than what you really show us on television. So I think it's okay to let some of that out a bit. But I just feel like Tamar was kind of like going in on her. But y'all let me know. Maybe y'all don't feel the same. I don't know. But y'all let me know.
We need more people who are willing to go the mile in the distance for the relationship.
Not.
She tried.
Absolutely not.
She didn't give up.
I just
Come on, Carly. If you don't call a spade, I'm gonna be mad at you, because you know this right here is she trying to keep get a peach.
Tamar.
She trying to get a peach.
Man, I'm good friends with Monyetta.
If she would have told this story, we would have known who she was. We would have been gunning for her. But now we like, girl, bye.
I don't think, number one, I don't think Monyetta is really trying to get a peach, in all honesty. I think she might be very comfortable just being a friend of the show. And then it's kind of like, y'all let me know, it's like, why would she go on the show and talk more about her ex-husband when she got a whole new husband? Now, granted, that is a part of her history. That is a part of how a lot of people know her. But I'm like, I might touch on it a little bit, but what's the point in speaking on that solely when that's her ex-husband versus the new husband? You know what I'm saying? And in addition, you got to understand, as a friend of, right, Monyetta's job really isn't to give us more details about herself. You know, I don't think so. I don't think she's not a main cast member, so I don't expect main storyline from Monyetta. I expect friend of storyline, girl. Only thing we really got from Courtney was the fact that she wanted to finesse the people and make us believe that she had an on and off relationship with her baby daddy for years, knowing her ass was married, and she never even told us that. Right. And then with Drew, girl, Allison came on, I guess you could say, as a friend of, and Allison gave us more of her damn storyline than Drew did, in all honesty. Not y'all sat up there and let Drew delay getting her contract in or organize her contract, whatever. And then when she do get the contract, she ain't even bringing a whole lot herself. It was more of her sister storyline than it was hers, in my personal opinion. All right. So there's that. Now, I'm not going to blame everything on Drew, because I do feel like production played a heavy hand in how this season played out ultimately. But that's just what I have to say. But as far as Monyetta, girl, like, Tamar, you ain't have to go that far in, girl, expecting that much from her. I mean, she's just a friend of. She did the best that she could. Now, granted, there are rooms of improvement as a friend. but we weren't gonna get too much from her about what she was over there doing with Neo. Maybe she could have told us a little bit. Maybe she could have told us a little bit. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. I mean, I guess, honey.
She played the good
Jesse.
friend angle.
I'm sorry. I
Jesse.
gotta call
Okay.
it. I
Jesse,
gotta call
speak.
it. If she was my friend, y'all need to tell that girl.
Okay, let's talk about the
If she your friend, tell her the truth.
the subject matter at hand, okay,
Yeah.
which is threesomes.
Well, it don't matter. We don't care
Let's
no
stay
more, girl.
focused.
Too late. Too
Let's
late.
stay focused,
He said
okay?
too late.
No.
You guys,
Focus.
Next.
Focus,
Next
Jesse.
story. We're moving on.
Tamar,
Not
we gotta-
moving
Talk
on.
about
Two
this.
people are
Right?
involved.
We gotta talk
It's
about this.
teamwork.
We could have been
Jesse.
talking about this
Focus.
Okay.
3,000 viewers ago. We are not talking about this now.
That still would have brought that season
We're
back.
moving on.
Girl, Tamar, I don't know, Tamar. It's giving you got an issue with Monyetta. But whatever it is, Monyetta definitely came to the front to go ahead and get you together, okay? This is what she says. Oh, wow. Loud and wrong. Shaking my head. Clearly, I'm a quote-unquote friend of the show. And it wasn't about my story on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But go off then. Thanks, boo, at Jesse Woo, at Gary with the T, at Headcrack for letting the real be known. And I was actually answering a question that I briefly wrote about in one of my books years ago. Love y'all. Be blessed. Okay. So I think that was a cute, classy based snapback to Miss Girl. And I think that Monyetta was absolutely right. It wasn't her story to really tell on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's a friend of. And that's one of the reasons why I could not understand why Allison's story became more of the focal point for Drew's storyline when she's a friend of the show. Girl, what? So that was a bit interesting, but because her story was so centered around mental health and things, I think shout out to Allison for even being able to put that out there, for her being able to share that portion of her life or whatnot. But yeah, so y'all let me know y'all thoughts about, the things Tamar had to say. And of course, Miss Monyetta coming to clap back like, girl, I heard that stuff that you was saying, period. Okay. So there's that. Next up, I do want to talk about Allison. I do want to talk about the situation with Miss Courtney. All right. Y'all know Courtney had a chance to speak on it. Actually, it's really before Speak On It, but Courtney got a chance to Speak On It. Things went crazy because she pretty much attacked and said some things about, Drew's sister Allison's mental health. And a lot of people did not like the things that Allison had to say. Not Allison, but Courtney. It's very rare that I like anything that Courtney has to say. Okay. So, there's that. I want to make sure that I said that correctly. Courtney went over to Speak On It, not Allison. Courtney went over to Candy's Speak On It. She sat down. She had a lot of negative things to say about Drew's sister, Allison. And it's very rare that I have any agreement on anything that Miss Courtney said. Okay. So a lot of people were upset with what Courtney had to say about Allison's mental health. She said it repeatedly, but she wants people to believe that, she has mental health issues or whatever going on in her family as well. So it's like she act like she could relate, but then you keep spewing and throwing out untrue stories. Like, I can't take it. Okay. Anywho, Allison, we see on the I believe the finale episode, she learned things about Courtney and things Courtney had to say when it came to her sister. And, Allison wanted to address Courtney. Courtney says on Speak On It that Drew's team told her that she sent Allison over there. Allison did an interview with Mims and she pretty much debunked that. Like, girl, no, that did not happen. Ain't nobody sent she ain't had no team. Ain't no team sent me over there or whatever the case was. Like, Allison really cleared up a lot of things. I think what I liked the most was her background, because I like to hear people's background and know that they're more than just such and such's sister or such and such's sibling or whatever the case is. So I thought that it was really good. If y'all haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. But she kind of spoke on that. She addressed that. And she also talked about a time where she, Drew, and Courtney all hung out together. And she just kind of like made note of some of Courtney's ways at that particular time. So much so that Allison took to social media with receipts. Hello. She took to social media with receipts to show that, hey, girl, this is the photo I was telling y'all about, when we were hanging out and, Allison was acting, I'm sorry, not Allison, but Courtney was acting kind of funny. I believe some people wanted to take pictures with Drew or something. And she was like, well, I'm on Housewives too. Like, girl, sit down. Like, she is a opportunist. She is a definite, yeah, I'm trying to think of a worse word than opportunist, but she definitely tries to heavily align herself with the different people. And I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes being an opportunist, I don't think that is bad, but I do feel like she moves in a more desperate way, a desperate, like, it doesn't give off genuine when she tries to align herself or connect with other people. Like, she doesn't seem to make genuine connections. It's just desperate, and it's all motive behind it, in my personal. But either way, this is what Allison had to say when she came to the front to address some things. She says, I saw a clip floating around where unverifiable fake cousin Courtney is stating she didn't know me and had only met me once. So this is the photo proving that, girl, you've met me on more than one occasion. Let's not. All right. She says, but stayed away because of my mental health. Does this look like she was staying away from me? My sister Drew really took her into the family in real life and on the show. I met her in November of 2022. And not only did she hang out with me and Drew, she also had the opportunity to hang out with our mom. She really played a role. Drew even introduced her to our dear friend whom she was flirting with. As you see, I don't have a drink in front of me because I wasn't drinking. Nothing this woman says makes sense, and it's baseless and tasteless. She needs to remember who she is, what she is, who her family is, and where she comes from. After this, I am done. No more time on this woman. She needs to just apologize for the reckless things she says. Okay, so that is something that Miss Allison had to say about Miss Courtney. All right. Now, Allison kind of went on, and I feel like Allison said more. I don't know if she left the post up. I'm hoping that she left the post up so that we could talk more about it. Let me see. I don't think she left it up. Let's see. No, she did. She did leave it up, and I am actually going to pull that up for us to check out together. So let's get that up on the screen here. Let's switch some things over so that we can get this up on the screen. All right. Now, this is what Allison put up. She has her own, I believe this may be a podcast called The Brain Truth. And as you can see, it's a lot of ladies here from the show from when she had her wellness retreat. She says, I went on Real Housewives of Atlanta to normalize the conversation on mental health. My vulnerability and willingness to share trials of overcoming PTSD, anxiety, and depression is to reduce the stigma and fear of those suffering in silence. No one has the blueprint of what a person looks like with mental health. She says, what is normal? Question mark. Was I supposed to show up in a straitjacket? Furthermore, I do not abuse alcohol or take any medications that interact with alcohol. The statements Courtney Rhodes made on Speak On It was reckless, tasteless, insensitive, and ignorant. For Kandi Burruss to engage in such dialogue was diminishing. She says mental health does not own a look nor concrete symptoms. It is my hope that Courtney reflects on her baseless, careless words and grows enough empathy to not only issue a public apology, but take the time to educate herself on the many forms of mental illnesses with the goal of never belittling or attacking anyone experiencing mental illness again. All right. So this is her and what she had to say about everything, regarding the mental illness, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Miss Courtney. She even touched on Kandi just a slight bit. I saw a lot of people feeling as though she didn't drag Kandi or really go in on Kandi the way that, she went in on Courtney. And it could be because, from what I'm understanding now is that Kandi had the conversation with Drew already, about how she felt like her sister was normal or whatever, and realized her ignorance in that and apologized to her. I believe they said that it was on the after show. So she's already had that conversation. So maybe that's why Miss Courtney is not going in, on Kandi as some of y'all may want her to or whatnot. And in addition to it, I feel like whatever Kandi stated is so easy to have a simple conversation with Allison, in my opinion, and get a resolve, right? Because you learn things, you may say things, you may slip up, say things, may be ignorant to what you're saying at the time, may not be thinking about it or whatever. And once you're being told you're wrong in something and you're being corrected, I'm sure that's just a simple conversation to, apologize or clear things up or whatever the case is. Whereas with Courtney, I feel like it's a bit different and it's a bit layered. You got Ralph involved, where she's over there listening to a lot of what Ralph is telling her, just going along with whatever he's saying. And in addition to that, it does seem like she just makes up stuff as she go. So when you are a person that is looked at as a liar, then girl, it hits a little more different. Courtney gonna hit a little more different than, Candy and what Candy said. Okay. Candy said something like this, whereas in my opinion, and not to, make it seem like it's that small. That's not what I mean. I mean, Candy didn't spend a lot of time going in on Allison. Okay. She made a statement. People didn't agree with it, but Courtney continued to say quite a few things that were unnecessary. Okay. In addition to lying about other things, okay, as far as Drew Ralph is concerned, all of that. So she done did too much, okay? She done did a bit of too damn much, if you ask me. All right. So, one second, guys.
We cheated together, if that makes sense.
There we go. I just wanted to clear that up. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. Just wanted to let you guys know what Miss Allison had to say post interview and things, as far as her interview, as well as the interview that Courtney did herself. All right. So you guys go ahead and let me know your thoughts about that down in the comment section, please. And I'm going to go ahead and move on because I want to get into Sheree and Candy. Now, y'all know the reunion is coming up. Okay, you may be seeing this video before the reunion has dropped or after the reunion has dropped, but the reunion is here. There was a sneak peek that was dropped, and it appears that Candy and Sheree had some things to say to each other. They kind of got into it, all right? The conversation seemed like it started off about Sheree and her birthday dinner. Sheree flipped the conversation from focusing on the birthday dinner to focusing on Candy and her restaurant. Right? Because I believe it went from birthday dinner to talking about, bills or somebody not getting paid, to talking about Sheree's fashions, to her coming for Candy's restaurant, to Candy, insulting, I believe, her looks, to Sheree standing up like she's that girl. It's just a mess. And you know what? We are going to play that audio. So let me go ahead and get that situated so that you guys can hear how this plays out. Okay? So let's check this out. And girl, let's get into it.
There's a lot of gossip about your birthday, who was invited, who paid the bill.
You revealed the tea about him asking all the ladies for a cash out to pay for their dinner.
He didn't pay for her birthday dinner.
If I decide to throw something for my birthday, this is my birthday, I'm inviting some of my friends. Martell was an invited guest.
You would take care of it.
Me?
She wasn't playing.
Well, no, I know. That's how I thought you were going to finish the sentence. If I invite people for my birthday, then I'm going to... Okay, well...
You're not going to pay for your birthday dinner. He should know that.
I pay for my birthday
dinner.
dinner.
I know. Well, you have a very interesting relationship with bills.
Now, listen now. Andy is the one taking this shot at her, but she ain't trying to fire back like Nene would, because Nene would have probably took a little shot at Andy. Like, don't come for me now, Andy, X, Y, and Z. But, Sheree got to play it real cute and nice with Andy because she's hoping to get that contract again on that next season.
No one's ever taken me to court and said that I have not paid their bill, honey, or tried to sue me for stealing an idea. Hey, Johnny.
Me and Ty gonna open up a restaurant. The concept was the same exact concept that I told him. I'm prepared.
I don't believe shit Johnny talking about, and I don't even know why y'all played this flashback, and I really don't even know why Sheree would even sit up here and mention Johnny, especially with the person that's sitting next to him. Girl, knowing that she didn't sat up here and lied and cooked up some shit. So she about cooked up this when it came down to Johnny and the things that he had to say. I specifically remember Todd sitting on the show wanting to create a restaurant and saying that they should call it something about the OLG or whatever it was, but it was centered around her aunts. So I refuse to believe he's about the idea that they doing for a restaurant. So are you talking about another restaurant, Johnny? Because this one was for OLG. So I'm a little confused. So which one was it? It's not really making sense. It's like, girl, you would use that. And if we want to pull clips, then we should have been pulling clips of when other contractors was out there saying that Sheree still owed them money, and while she's sitting up there saying that nobody has ever taken her to court. But they may not have taken you to court, but it doesn't mean that you didn't owe them no fucking money. Hello? So, Sheree, one thing you have taught me is that you will sit in our face and you will lie like it's nothing. You will lie like a dog in my personal. So for you to try and deflect and say that, I can't. And here's the gag. She couldn't wait to throw this shade at Andy because I'm sorry, at Candy, because Andy was the one that's asking you the question, girl. Let me get this off my screen real quick because you done pissed me off. Girl, listen, Andy is talking to you, Sheree. Okay? Andy is talking to you about Martell. Then he goes on to say you have an interesting relationship with bills. The conversation is still about you, dear heart. So then you say, nobody has ever taken me to court or said that I owed this or that I owed that or da-da-da-da-da. Hello, Johnny, or whatever it was that you said. I feel like I'd be the only person that really be like, hello, how are you? Girl, you must watch my channel. Anyway, girl, you mentioned Johnny's name. And it's like, we're nobody even talking about Johnny. You needed a deflection to get off you to focus on Candy so that you can get to a place where you could pull out the receipts that you had behind your back. That's what you were trying to focus on. Like, I can't take it. I can't take it, ma'am. Okay? Ugh. Like, we're still on you. Let's talk about the dinner first because y'all and Andy, stop shifting. Okay? Because I don't like when y'all do that. Let's finish up this topic and then you can let her know she got an interesting thing with bills. Okay? And then it's so funny because the conversation went from Martell hosting to now she wants to say she hosted it and she wasn't going to pay the dinner. Well, you should have made that clear because there's no reason Sonya, one of your good Judies, was not clear. And also, it's no reason that Marlo, your good Judy, was not clear. Therefore, start walking around dragging your man. Like, Sheree, you be so full of shit. And I just can't take it. But anywho, let's go ahead and finish up whatever you got to say, honey.
For a lawsuit.
Y'all know good damn well if my restaurant is based on my old lady game. Now let's not talk about you not paying the guy with the
and then here she go again, y'all. Here she go again. Now she's saying you talking about Drew's bill because this is her now trying to shift. She's trying to shift from Candy and she's shifting to Drew. Probably because Candy had to clock her and let her know, y'all already know my restaurant is about my aunts. So I don't know what the hell Johnny over here trying to take credit for because that's not what that is. Y'all already know what it's about. So then she tries to shift and make it about Drew and the bill that she had, and she took the girl to court, and now she don't owe the girl nothing because the judge dismissed it or saw it in her favor. So what are you talking about, Sheree? That's the deflection I'm talking about. You find anybody you can to throw something on.
Website.
I love it, honey.
Address Yoshi.
Oh, I love it. Let's talk about it.
Those fashions were not on that site.
This is from
She
Rowan,
started with me.
who has no skin in the game.
Let me go back a little
Don't
bit,
believe
y'all.
everything you're an idea. Hey, Johnny.
Me and Ty are gonna open up a restaurant. The concept was the same exact concept that I told them. I'm prepared for a lawsuit.
Y'all know good damn well if my restaurant is based on my old lady game. Now let's not talk about you not paying the guy with the fashions, and that's why them fashions ain't on that website.
I love it, honey. I love it. Let's talk about it.
Those fashions were not on that site.
This is from
She
Rowan,
started with me.
who has no skin in the
clear.
game. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. So Rowan was helping. I paid Rowan. Rowan paid him.
And she's saying,
Back then. Don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Those fashions on your runway, half of them are not on your site.
So what? What's the bother with Go back them nasty ass floors in your restaurant. Go back them nasty ass floors in your restaurant.
People thought that was a read when Sheree sat up there and was like, "Oh, go write those nasty ass restaurant, those nasty ass greasy floors or whatever in your restaurant, ma'am. It's a restaurant. I expect floors to be dirty so that they can be cleaned by the end of the day. Girl, I do expect that. There's traffic. Girl, when you cooking with grease and different things, it's going to pop. I don't understand why people felt like that was really a read. Girl, if you think that was a read, then I'm questioning whether you know how to do so yourself. Because that's not what that was giving. And Candy's not lying. The fashions that you so-called paid for were not on your website. Why are you having a fashion? Why are you having a fashion show of fashions that look so good that we want to buy into that, and then we get on your website and that's not what's up there? What's up there is some wrinkled ass shirts because you was rushing this process of getting something out. Nothing that you promoted to us down that damn walkway. We have no access and no way of purchasing those items. You over here selling some completely new shit. Okay, and then you over here talking about you paid this person that paid him that did this and that. Well, guess what, girl? That guy came to the front and debunked what all you were saying, and then say he gonna drop more receipts. But we'll get into that. Okay, let's go ahead and let's just let Sheree finish up what else she got to say.
That's what you worry about.
Nasty ass what?
Floors. They're greasy.
Gone.
They're greasy.
This
Worry
is
about your
Worry
damn
about that
dry
raw
ass
ass
new
chicken.
face, whatever you got going on.
Let me stand up, honey.
oh.
Now, Candy, that was a struggle read, baby.
So I can show you the body and the face, but bitch, you could never, honey, never.
Now,
There's a lot of
now, Sheree, I can't get with you on that, dear. Okay, you over there talking about this lady could never, but obviously she can and she still could. What are you talking about? I'm not gonna take away from you that you look great. You know, at your age, I'm not sure how old you are. I believe you might be over 50. But I think that you look great. Does that nose look good? Absolutely the fuck not. It doesn't. And whoever told you that it does has lied to you 10 times over. Because you look a mess with that new face. Okay, go back to the old one. And then the face getting so tight. What's going on with the neck? Okay, y'all be touching everything above and below, but y'all don't get that neck because that neck be telling your age. Get that together. But I couldn't. And then you told some, let me stand up so you can see, because you could never. Where's all this animosity and energy coming for Miss Candy? And she probably would never. Because y'all not even in the same age bracket. That's the thing for me. Like, the lady younger than you. Okay, you over here the one trying to fix your face so that you could look like what she looking like. You over here trying to get yourself together so you could look as young as her. So why would she need to ever? When that's what you're trying to do. I'm a little confused on that, ma'am. Okay? I can't, ma'am. You over here talking about you could never. Yeah, Candy, you should never. Could never, better not ever go and get no nose job to look like what that bitch got going on. Girl, are you crazy? But let's go ahead and get into what the old boy came and said, because he's like, girl, you over there talking all this but you ain't give me a dime. All right. So this person said, while she talking about some don't trust everything you see on the internet, well, I'm inclined to believe the person who is heavily involved with everything. Okay. Who was involved. He says responses to the Housewives clip, a reunion clip. Rowan gave me my money back. I spent $2,400 on your SHI and she gave me $2,000. You ain't give her SHI. I got receipts too. She said you ain't got the money. Okay. She says you ain't got no money. That's why she just reimbursed what I spent, because she felt bad I never got paid. Labor for my work, okay, on your runway pieces that you use, and I didn't. He says, and I did it in 4 days. Also was on set altering all of them other clothes because they ain't fit the models. He says day rate wasn't paid either. Don't play with me. After this episode, I am dropping all receipts sent. Okay, he says we got receipts. So that's what he's saying. While you over there talk about you paid Rowan and Rowan paid him, I don't know if Rowan is the problematic person and Rowan is the one lying. But according to him, Rowan says that she gave that money to him because she felt bad that he never got paid. Okay, and that you ain't got no money to give. Now, this is what he's saying. Now, you might want to take that up with him, or you might want to take that up with Rowan to make sure that Rowan ain't out here lying and making you look bad. That's what you might want to sit up there and confirm. But he said he got more receipts and he's going to drop that off. So then my question becomes, at what point did you eventually pay back Rowan the money that was spent out to this person to get the job done? What was it? Yeah, so I mean, girl, I'm just telling you what these people over here saying, honey. Don't get mad at me, girl. They over here putting your business out and stuff. And he said he's gonna put more of your business out this weekend, okay? As he's taking his break, his 3-day break, he said he got time and he's gonna be dropping those. But that's all that I got. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about everything, honey. I'm Jamie, that's me. Y'all know how it goes. I'll catch y'all in the next one, honey. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. Bye-bye.